Tonight, heavy rain is moving in across the Sun Coast, how it could spoil your Memorial Day plans.
Plus, how broken cameras in the city of Sarasota could have helped solve several shooting investigations.
And a decision is made on a security issue involving a local high school. Your Sun Coast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Topping our news this evening, another afternoon with heavy rain here on the Sun Coast. You're looking at our first alert weather radar and our tower cam, showing some areas that got some rain earlier today on the Sun Coast, and it's still raining in others.
That's right. Let's find out how long that rain is expected to pour here on the Sun Coast. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, potentially dangerous situation here along the Sun Coast setting up. We had a tremendous amount of rain over the weekend. The ground is saturated, so all the rain that occurs now, and it is heavy at times, will go just as runoff. So driving is going to be difficult, especially in the afternoon and evening when that rain comes rather heavy at times. Now that rain is starting to lessen somewhat, but this forecast, and you're going to see it here in a little bit, calls for a possible tropical low getting into the Gulf of Mexico on Friday. We'll talk again about that later. Inglewood getting some moderate rainfall. It was significantly heavier near Osprey and Nokomis just about a half hour ago. It is still heavy near the Venetian. The rainfall rates have come down just a little bit, but still that's a heavy rain at 1.16 inches per hour. It was as high as 1.5 inches to 2 inches an hour just about an hour ago. Near Jacaranda Boulevard, I-75, tough driving from there. Also near the Venetian, getting some heavy rainfall. Not as much in Manatee County in terms of downpours, but we are still seeing the rainfall near Woodfield Avenue near 301. Also some rainfall stretching up toward Terra. And then to the north, where we're having the Little Manatee River flood problems right now. A tremendous amount of rain falling there right now. As far as the rainfall total estimates go, 2.5 inches right there by I-75, again, just south of Clark Road. These are flood warnings that are taking place. We have flood warning at Horse Creek, also the Manatee River at the Myakka Head, flooding occurring there, and that Little Manatee River, where they're getting a significant amount of rainfall right now, continues to be a problem there, and that's in effect until Wednesday until 12, but more than likely that will be extended, and the river flooding at Horse Creek into DeSoto County in effect until Friday. Guess what? It's not going anywhere. Look at this steady stream of tropical moisture continues to move right into Florida. Now, regardless of whether this low pressure is going to be around us, we'll still see this stream of moisture heading our way right in through Friday. The Hurricane Center giving this a 20% chance of developing into a weak system. It's not going to be a strong system as far as wind goes, but the problem with it will be the heavy rainfall that we may experience if it inches closer to us. Now, the European has it going toward the lower Mississippi Valley, while the GFS takes it right toward Florida. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Next time you're taking a walk through the city of Sarasota, look up and you may see one of dozens of cameras within the city limits.
But city officials say some of those cameras are not functioning properly, so they can't be used to investigate any crimes. ABC7's Erica Jackson joins us here in the studio to share how these cameras could have helped several shooting investigations and a missing person case. Erica?
Jacqueline, Scott, good evening. There's one surveillance camera at the intersection of MLK Way and Pershing Avenue. It was the site of one of 4 shootings earlier this month, and the mother of missing Jabez Span says witnesses spotted him in the area before his disappearance. But there's no footage from either scene since the surveillance cameras are out of order.
It's a concern of any community, the safety issues.
Jetson Grimes feels safe working at Jetson's hair salon near the corner of Osprey Avenue and MLK Way. Just feet from the building, a surveillance camera sits above the intersection.
The cameras, I think they are necessary.
But some of the city's cameras are useless. The city of Sarasota says the 66 cameras were installed as early as 2010. As many as 10 of those are not functioning properly.
Well, I think the cameras are really important for us to be able to supplement doing our job and try to identify individuals that are involved in crime.
Cameras were present at 3 of 4 shooting locations in Newtown earlier this month. One of those at the intersection of Pershing and MLK Way, where witnesses last spotted missing teen Jabez Span. Those 3 cameras are out of order. Chief Bernadette DePino says even if the cameras were working, they may not have been able to capture the crimes.
Even with body cameras and in-car cameras and cameras that are on the street, if you look at them, it really depends on the direction that it's pointed at, the vantage point of where it's pointed at. Does it capture actually the crime that takes place?
The Sarasota Police Department wants to pass along the responsibility of the camera operation to city officials. The The city will manage the funding and oversight of the cameras. Then Sarasota police will use the footage to fight crime.
From a police department perspective, that's great for us because I don't want a police officer managing cameras and buying them and where to place them and all that. I want police officers doing police work.
Crime supports the use of cameras, but believes the crimes in the city are mostly isolated incidents.
This is a safe community to come in.
Sarasota police say it will cost thousands of dollars to repair the existing cameras and to add new cameras with more advanced technology. The city is proposing $150,000 in next year's budget to restore the camera system and designate a full-time employee to oversee the program. Back to you.
All right, Erica, thank you. A man who sits on death row for a Manatee County murder today facing a judge in Sarasota County concerning evidence that could link him to a separate murder there. Delmer Smith, with no attorney, representing himself in court today. Smith asking a judge to have the state return personal property that was seized for evidence when he was arrested back in 2009 for a series of home invasion and aggravated battery charges. The state agreed to give back his vehicle, watches, and iPods. However, the state argued that it needs to keep at least a dozen cameras and video recorders, along with several computers that they have in their possession. The state telling the judge those items could provide evidence linking Smith to the 2009 murder of Georgianne Smith. Delmer Smith is charged with that murder in January.
My car, family pictures, etc. It's all in the stuff that was confiscated.
Smith agreed to allow the state to keep the items they requested for at least 3 months. His trial for the murder of Georgianne Smith is expected to happen sometime in July.
A statewide tribute today in Texas for the 10 people killed and 13 others injured in Friday's shooting at Santa Fe High School. Community members gathering around 10 wooden crosses bearing the name of the 8 students and 2 teachers that were killed. The confessed shooter, Demetrius Pogorchis, now charged with capital murder. Police say the 17-year-old yelled "surprise" before opening fire. One student said he heard the suspect even taunting victims.
Every time he'd kill someone, he'd say, "Another one bites the dust."
Now, the school says they had a plan. They practiced active shooter drills and they had 2 armed officers inside the school at the time of the shooting. But some say clearly that was not enough and something more needs to be done.
Now to a security issue involving a Suncoast school. The Sarasota City Commission voting this afternoon to shut down a road that runs right through the center of Sarasota High School's campus. School Avenue will now be closed from 6:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. during the school year. Right now it's closed to vehicles during the school day, but remains open to pedestrians and bike riders. The commission vote goes along with a school board vote to close School Avenue. Again, that change will take place during the new school year beginning in August.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joining us now, and a strong start to the new week on Wall Street today.
Well, we got some pretty good news yesterday. We heard that the trade wars in China at a minimum might be delayed. Maybe they're off, but at a minimum delayed. That was good news, very good news. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up by 200 points at the open, up by more than 370 points at the high of the day, and as you're about to see, finished with a gain of almost 300 points for the day. We've now been up 11 out of the last 13 days, and yes, we're back at Dow 25,000 for the first time since the middle of March. Looks pretty darn good. Let's take a look at the figures. There you see the Dow up just shy of 300 points, 298.20, 1.2%, closing at 25,013.29. That on volume of 909 million shares. The NASDAQ actually the weakest part of the day, and it's up by more than 0.5%. Not quite 40 points at 7,394.04. That on volume of 1,816 million shares. And the S&P, darn good performance, up 0.75%, just over 20 points at 2,733.01. Well, perhaps the demise of retail has been a little bit overstated. You might recall that Macy's announced terrific earnings last week. Now it's Dillard's turn. Dillard said its earnings were up 21%. Same-store sales were positive by 2%. Most of that, by the way, coming in the women's apparel area. So I guess Jacqueline's been doing a little bit of shopping, which we're very glad about. And yes, shares of Dillard's are not only up today, but up 17% in the last 10 days. So it looks like not only good earnings and good sales, but maybe a few people were suspicious that would be the case, because certainly that's a pretty darn good performance in 10 days.
Sure is. What about the post office? Something new from our friends there.
Something new. How do I want to say this? Stranger than fact, fiction, whatever. You're now going to be able to buy scratch and sniff postage stamps. I did not make that up. There you see a picture of it. Scratch and sniff stamps. They will be available in 10 different flavors, smells, whatever you want to call it. There you see 10 of them. They're on paddle pops or popsicles or whatever you want to call them. There are forever stamps, and you can buy them at a local post office as of June the 20th. I thought I had seen it all, but I guess now I've seen something else.
All right. Interesting.
Pretty amazing.
Richard and I remember the days when you had to lick the stamp.
Yeah.
So this is better.
You don't remember that.
Don't
I'm
lick
sure.
those ones.
Coming up, new roundabouts are being proposed for parts of Manatee County. What drivers in the area think of those plans.
And several rivers are now flooding as more rain hits the Suncoast. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back to tell us how much rain we could get. Plus, how doctors are trying to stop the spread of the deadly Ebola virus. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Patrol is looking for the driver who hit and killed a 19-year-old Venice man. The accident happened on South Tamiami Trail near Short Road around 11:30 last night. Troopers say Zachary O'Brien was trying to cross 41 when he was hit by a maroon SUV. The driver then took off. O'Brien was airlifted to Sarasota Memorial Hospital where he died. If you have any information about this accident, you're being asked to call the Florida Highway Patrol.
As roundabouts open in Sarasota, several more are in the works for the Manatee County area as well. The Florida Department of Transportation says the roundabouts are proven to be a safer alternative to typical intersections. So 3 more are in planning now for State Road 64. ABC7's Taylor Torgano is live at SR 64 and Rye Road intersection tonight with what drivers who live in that area think of this plan. Taylor?
Good evening, Scott. I spoke with employees of this business to my left, and they tell me before FDOT installed this temporary light behind me, there was an accident at least 1 or 2 times a week.
It was crazy.
Brenda Lopez has worked at APC Pediatrics for all 5 years it's been open in this location. She says before last month, when this temporary light was installed, she used to be scared to come to work.
Because it's so hard to make a laugh. If we don't have a light there, every time you make a laugh, it's like you're risking your life. Because all the traffic coming, you know, going west, going east, all these people going from Rye Road, trying to go east, trying to make a left, they usually go in the middle, basically get in front of you. No, we need the light to stay there.
Lopez and her co-workers have heard and even seen the accidents that have happened here, but they say the light made all the difference. Unfortunately, FDOT says it's only temporary. Construction on a roundabout will replace this stoplight later this year.
We believe that the roundabout is the safer alternative. It'll help to move traffic, and that's State Road 64 is a busy corridor.
Also in planning are roundabouts less than 1 mile to the east and west of here on Lorraine Road and Greyhawk Boulevard.
The roundabouts will really help to keep that traffic flowing from all directions. It'll help to keep traffic moving on State Road 64, but it'll also provide an opportunity for the folks on the side streets to be able to get out.
These 2 roundabouts are much further out. Construction funding for them hasn't yet been allocated, and they're still in the study phases. But some who drive this road every day say they're not convinced the roundabouts are the best option.
We have a lot of traffic coming in and out, coming from west, east, with semis, big vehicles, that travel through this area. I personally don't think that a roundabout would work.
Now, FDOT has scheduled a public hearing for tomorrow for locals to come out and discuss and voice any concerns about these proposed roundabouts on SR 64 and Lorraine and SR 64 and Greyhawk Road. If you would like to participate, it starts at 5 and will be at the Bayside Community Church. I'm live on Rye Road. Taylor Torgano, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Taylor, thank you. This week marks 1 year since Florida's first diverging diamond interchange opened to traffic here on the Suncoast. The Florida Department of Transportation credits the nearly $75 million project at I-75 and University for improving traffic flow and reducing the number of crashes. Figures from the Florida Highway Patrol show a significant decrease of crashes at the interchange in its first 11 months of operation. But 1 year later, some people still find themselves driving defensively.
If they're supposed to get on the interstates or if it ends up being a turn lane. So there are different times where cars all of a sudden will slam on their brakes right in front of you.
Coming up tonight at 6, Erica Jackson shows us how crashes have gone down in the last year and the possible changes FDOT is considering after a fatal wrong-way crash in that area just last month. In First Alert traffic right now, we see a crash on the exit ramp at the interchange of State Road 64 and I-75. That is causing some backups as you head east and west on 64 and heading south on 75 at this hour.
And a lot of that rain causing some issues for drivers today.
Probably.
I know for me it was really difficult. I had to have my windshield all the way up and that rain you couldn't really see very far in front of you.
Before you get started, Bob, a shout out to you and a thanks from Riverview High School. Bob was helping all Saturday night with the forecast, and they got in the graduation despite a lot of rain in the area. I know they're very concerned. So thank you.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate them giving me the shout out. She sent me a nice text too. I appreciate that. A lot of people wondering. I had just a lady call me just a minute ago and wants to know if she can drive up to Massachusetts because they're leaving now, and she wants to know if she can leave tomorrow. And I said, yeah, leave tomorrow morning. By that time, you'll be out of Florida. By the Wednesday, Thursday. This tropical low is something that we may have to deal with. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Big deal going on with that. Heavy rainfall. We've had already 4 inches in some areas. We talked about the flooding earlier in some of the rivers, the Little Manatee. We also have the Manatee near the Myakka Head flooding and Horse Creek. Now, this is only going to get worse, I think, throughout the week because we have a steady stream of moisture moving up from the Caribbean. You can see that. It's been doing that all last week, too. And with this in place, with rainfall rates, and Jacqueline brought it up, when they come down with this kind of moisture in the atmosphere, it's blinding. You can hardly see. And remember, if you are driving, you're not supposed to be driving driving with your emergencies on. That's only when you're stopped, obviously. And if you have your wipers on, you got to have your lights on too. That's another rule here of the roadways. You can see again some heavier weather just down south of Fort Myers. That dry air that has been in place to the west is slowly shrinking away. You can see that happening right there, but then you can see all this blue. That's that deep tropical moisture which continues. Look at the motion. It's easy to tell right into Florida. Now, as far as the rainfall goes, review, you can see that heavy weather down to our south. We have to keep an eye on that right now. It doesn't appear to be a factor tonight or tomorrow morning, but the showers that were around earlier did produce a funnel cloud. No damage, obviously. It didn't touch down, but look at all that heavy rainfall. The rainfall rate's up to 1.5 inches, 2 inches an hour. That is now starting to wind on down. So I think we'll see a little break here, and it'll be rather quiet through the night. We'll see that chance, though, for storms coming back into play. Not in the morning, so drop off for the kids doesn't appear to be a problem. And midday should not be a problem, but when we get into the 2 o'clock hour or so, we'll start to see those storms firing off again, and some of those could be heavy rainmakers, which will cause some problems. Now, this is a rainfall forecast with one model. I think you'll see higher amounts through Wednesday in some isolated areas, but generally everyone will more than likely get at least another inch to Wednesday, and then much more coming up for the weekend, it looks like. Weather headlines read like this: mainly afternoon storms through Thursday, and then tropical low for the weekend, and then rain chances staying high even after that if the tropical low moves on by. Currently, we have showers 75 degrees and the humidity at 94%, the pressure at 30.03 inches. So again, we're going to keep an eye on this. So we have the two models, the GFS and European, coming up just around 5:35. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Here's the forecast then for the next 7 days, or at least the boating forecast. Seas running 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop out there. The 7-day forecast is calling for a good chance for more showers and storms, mainly in the afternoon and evening, causing more flooding problems for some of those rivers I mentioned. Then we get to the afternoon and evening storms at 50-50 through Thursday. Watching the tropics Friday. Now, Sunday and Monday may have to be adjusted now as the low pressure area may stick around a little bit longer and be slower in moving. More on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Bob. In health news tonight, doctors are trying to stop the spread of the deadly Ebola virus. Health officials are now giving out an experimental Ebola vaccine in the Democratic Republic of Congo. There are nearly 50 suspected cases in that area. Health workers will be the first group to get the vaccine, and then in a few days, officials will get the vaccine to a rural area near the Congo River. The head of the World Health Organization is optimistic that they will win this battle. Coming up, Hawaii residents face another hazard from a volcanic eruption as plumes of acid billow into the sky. Plus, a crazy sight in Venice, why a waiter wrangled a snake on a popular Suncoast beach. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings on new Ram trucks. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years in a row. And right now, get the all-new redesigned 2018 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $23,999. Or save big and get up to $12,400 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach. Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View. We'll meet a very familiar voice who tells us how to get everywhere we need to go.
I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we'll meet the woman whose voice is on over 1 billion GPS and smartphones worldwide. The Riverview High School Kilty Dancers are getting ready for Memorial Day. They'll teach us a few steps. Plus, fighting fat with Gulf Coast Medical Group, and Zoe's Kitchen is in our kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
No end in sight for people living around Hawaii's Kilauea volcano. Lava flows, earthquakes, ash falls are just some of the threats they're facing. Over the weekend, an active flow entered the Pacific Ocean and created a new threat called lays. It's formed when hot lava hits the ocean. Lays can cause lung, eye, and skin irritation.
A dramatic rescue in Arizona where crews pulled 2 horses, a mother and her baby, from a canal. The wild horses got stuck last night. The Mesa Fire Department stepped in to help a wild horse management group. The size of the horses made the rescue difficult. Officials estimate that they weigh between 600 to 1,000 pounds. Those horses will now be cared for by a vet before they are released back into the wild.
A crazy sight at a popular Suncoast restaurant. A waiter at Sharky's on the Pier in Venice gave his customers quite a show when a snake slithered onto the beach sand. Dylan Baston grabbed the snake with his bare hands and used a plastic claw to move the snake away from customers and eventually into a grassy area right to the left of your screen there. An employee at the restaurant says Baston has had snakes before and he's comfortable with them. No word on what kind of snake it was, but I'm sure it wasn't.
No, thank you.
Anything dangerous.
Well, coming up at 5:30, Bob Harrigan will be back with more on that rainy week ahead. And at 5:31, how the drastic change from dry to wet weather can have a negative impact on infrastructure. Plus, at 5:34, what lies ahead for the future of Nathan Benderson Park. Those stories when we return.
Peterson Toyota of Sarasota offers hundreds of models to choose from. And now you can take your shopping experience to the next level with SRQ Plus. You'll love its added benefits exclusively at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota or toyotaofsarasota.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Lots of sun, absolutely no fun.
Yeah, we towed it all the way up there for nothing.
Our weekend was dead in the water.
Sure, we could still sit on it, but what fun is that?
Dead boat batteries sinking your spirits? Right now, you can save $10 on Duracell Ultramarine batteries at Batteries Plus bulbs.
We should have named it the SS Going Nowhere.
Visit batteriesplus.com for a store near you.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining. Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a part-time video news editor with a nonlinear video editing and digital video background. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.